Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-discovery. This podcast is designed for women navigating life transitions and yearning to embrace their true selves. I'll be sharing my personal journey from navigating the complexities of divorce and blending families to reshaping my career to something that resonates with my soul. With 3 decades as a teacher and mentor, I'm here to share insights, heartfelt stories, and practical strategies. Together, we'll explore how to cultivate self-love and create the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Join me each week as we dive deep into the art of living authentically. Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, and I'm so glad you're here. If you've been following me, you know that I've skipped a bit of time. I had so much energy in the beginning of April, and I knew because I have been doing the card readings, I've looked at the astrology for April, and I knew April was going to be chaotic. I was just surprised at how the chaos showed up in my life. I don't know how it showed up in yours. I feel like the astrology has this astrological weather that is just overwhelming at times, just pelting me with different situations. Not always bad, just different. It just requires a lot of energy to kind of navigate the different storms, let's say. And then I have found that I've needed to make sure that I take time to shelter from this storm, to just sit with myself, give myself some energy, and give myself permission. And as I've been growing in my spiritual journey, as I've been connecting to myself and disconnecting from some of the paradigms of you should be doing this, you should be doing that. One of them has been, you just need to suck it up, buttercup. Meaning that connecting to my energy and connecting to what I need at a specific time is something that I'm no longer ignoring. And I have a history of childhood trauma, childhood abuse. And so I can easily disconnect from my body. I can just not listen to my hunger cues. I cannot listen to my pain cues. And in fact, I can easily get into a situation of numbing myself. And this chaos of April has helped me recognize that I have really grown a great deal. I still have a lot to grow. It's also recognized that. So I'm going to share some of this. And my hope as I share my story is that you might see aspects of your own story and that it gives you hope. It gives you avenues to move forward in your own life and that you know that you're not alone. And as you connect with leading with your own soul, like I am on this 3D journey of life as a human, we recognize how we get it right sometimes and how we don't get it right and how we can navigate through this so that we continue to spiral upwards into our highest potential, into who we're meant to be as we navigate this life and whatever that is. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So what have I been doing right? First of all, what happened is a dear loved one, as we were getting ready to come home from Victoria to Alberta, went into the hospital with a serious diagnosis and pulled the rug right out underneath me. And I went into my nervous system. So my nervous system just responded to the point of my blood pressure is higher, all of these things are just going through the roof. And it was exhausting. And as we came home, went immediately into supporting my loved one in the hospital. And I was surprised. Even if you go in the hospital for 4 hours, it is like an energy drain of a 12-hour day. I could not believe it. It just just drained all your energy. And when I thought about it, what is that from? And I think it really is a lack of control, grief, processing emotions, not knowing what to do and if you're doing it right, connecting with the larger family and making decisions together. Once again, not necessarily navigating your own ship. It's collaborating with others. And my astrology, this is what is being this is what is being opened up for me. Collaboration, connection, community, and navigating that together. And I am a control freak. So this April, what does this help me recognize and help me dive into and realize, A, how far I've come. So I've released a lot of control, and my beautiful husband helped me do this so often. This is my experience, and my other loved ones are having their experience. Give them grace. If you think you just did a 4-hour day that felt like 12 hours, so did they. They're processing their own emotions, their own grief, their own lack of control. And we had to give each other grace as we're moving through this. And release expectations. And that's been hard. That's just been that teeny tiny journey. And then you come back and into our beautiful family, which is wonderful. And there are needs and expectations there. So there is a feeling of overwhelm, and that potentially we're not meeting all of the needs it feels like whack-a-mole sometimes. This need is the greatest, and then it's that need, and then this need. And for me, I ended up dropping a podcast on my Instagram account. I just didn't have the bandwidth. And that's where I disconnected. In the past, I would have just pushed forward and I would have done it. In the past, I would have showed up exhausted. I would have showed up emotionally distraught and not given from a full cup, but from an empty cup, because I had all these shoulds. You should do this. You should do that. My beautiful mentor that just recognized and kept on saying, Michelle, make sure you take care of yourself. And I think for the first time, it's actually allowed me to fully come around in a quicker way, because I have been present with myself. And at the same time, I did help my one-on-one clients, and I was present for them and was able to have one-on-one sessions and meet them where they were at. And it was quite powerful for me because I could see I could hold this energy. I just couldn't hold it all. And I had to love myself in being less than perfect, less than in control. And over this past weekend, so my beautiful husband went on a trip with his brother, golfing, and I recognized that I just completely disconnected from the world. And in the past, I would have stayed there. I would have been in this disconnection for another 2-3 weeks, just sinking down, numbing myself, and not connecting with all the good work I had done with our weightlifting and health and eating, and I would have just crumbled out of existence and numbed, but I didn't. I stayed present. I was able to show up and support. I was able to give grace. I was able to do the one-on-one clients. I was able to show up for myself in my physical endeavors. And I'm learning to love myself in this messiness. And I've always said that. I have always said I come messy. I am not perfect. And I have to find a way to love myself through this messiness. And yet I know I had this critical aspect. I think it is my beautiful Virgo moon that really says, yes, messiness, but has a very critical, judgmental view of myself. And so that I have an inner voice that says, yes, you can be messy. Yes, you can do this. But aren't you pathetic? And it makes me cry inside when I think that, because those are the words. I have endless grace for other people. I have endless grace and understanding when they're going through difficult and challenging situations in their life and they're feeling overwhelmed. But I haven't always had it for myself. And so my healing, my spiraling upwards to my highest potential, to a greater sense of self in this April has been, I have been quieting that voice. I have allowed myself. Can you imagine there was a huge snowstorm? I did go for an appointment, but it also meant that it wasn't safe at that moment. I didn't have to drive to see my loved one. And I allowed myself not to put myself in danger and stress on the road during a huge snowstorm. And I had to say out loud to myself that whole day, it is okay. You can send love. It is okay that you choose your safety and the safety of others on the road because you're one more car that's not out there. And I had to speak myself through that it was okay. And that's that voice. Sometimes I have to say it out loud. It is okay, Michelle. It is okay that you're tired and you go to bed at 8 o'clock. It is okay that you wake up at 3 a.m. from stress and cortisol and your mind's just racing. It is okay. Forgive yourself. Put your hand on your heart and try and lean in with compassion and grace for your own self. And that's what I'm learning. And I'm proud because I have done this. I have shown up. I have held beautiful abundance coming into our life, and I've not hidden from it. Because this chaos of April has also been, we had this beautiful, abundant choice that my husband and I made. And when people asked us, I actually was lying and wanted to lie about the abundance because, well, other people don't have that abundance. So I need to lie about it so that they don't feel bad. Yep, this is true. I'm honest. This is truth. And why? Isn't that curious? Why would I do that? Why would I pretend to dim my light, be less, have less abundance, love, joy, potential, vacations? Why? Does my dimness help anyone else? No, it does not. That's the truth of it. And there may be envy. And I know myself, I have felt envy. And I listened to someone talk about envy is actually a way for you to understand something you want, something that your soul is yearning for. So if you allow the envy to sit in you with scarcity and fear and less than, and that critical voice that I talked about that just comes back and then is just beating yourself up with that envy because it has that darkness, that anger, then it will destroy you. And I've chosen to have that envy and say to myself, thank you. Thank you for letting me know what my soul is yearning for. Thank you for letting me know and have glimpses of what I want to do with my life. Thank you. This feeling of envy really just helps me understand where I want to go. And because of that, I've done really small things. Do you know what I've done? I have grown my hair out. That is a teeny tiny small thing. But at 57, next week on Monday, I'm going to be 57. Love it. I have in the past thought the shoulds, that a woman who is older should have short hair. A woman who is moving towards her 60s should be quiet, should be all of these things. And my envy has said, look at these other beautiful women and look what they're doing. Look how they are standing out no matter what age they are following their passions. Whether they're 50, 60, 70. I think of Madonna. I think of Jane Fonda. I think of these beautiful women being seen and talking about who they are in their bright light. And they're also older. But it doesn't matter. This light is just helping us move forward. And as I get older, I get to understand that this bright light that's pulling me towards through envy, because it's showing me what I want to do. I want to move. I want to have a healthy body. I want to have a healthy mind. I want to have a life filled with happiness and joy and adventures and challenges. That's what I want. And I want to have long hair when I do it. I want to have peace in my heart. And I want to have the anxiety and fear that comes with trying something new and overcoming it through courage. I want to do these things. And I don't want to go silently into the night. And it was also Jane Fonda in another interview that talked about, when she hit her 60s, she said, this is the last third of my life. And the 2/3 before that were really figuring out. And when I if you look up to my 30s, was figuring out who I was, what was going on. And then from my 30s to getting 57 into 60s has really been becoming that person and then actually disconnecting from the shoulds that happened and was built in my 30s and 40s. So my 50s has been really about disconnecting from that and becoming everything that my heart and soul wants me to be. My 50s has been about listening to my soul through my cards, through my meditation, through my desires, and recognizing that I am worthy of long hair. I am worthy of adventure. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of holidays that bring me joy. I am worthy of all of these things. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't come without challenges. And that's the other chaos that has been happening for me in April. And my beautiful coach, Christy Yale, This Sacred Life, beautiful. You should connect with her and her Instagram. She talks about whenever we hold the energy and call into our life abundance, there's a duality that happens, meaning that often we will get sick, often other things will happen, because both things are present. As we expand, we also expand in heartbreak, we expand in challenge, we expand in difficulty. And can you hold these two to be true? And this happened in April for me. As we have this beautiful abundance coming in my life, my loved one gets in the hospital. And I can feel myself struggling to hold the completeness of both. I can feel myself reverting back to behaviors and beliefs that have happened in the past. And some of those come from my upbringing. And it's like, oh, you wanted too much, and therefore you're being called back down. So don't desire too much, don't get too big, don't be seen too much, stay humble. You shouldn't have any worldly possessions, go through, the eye of the needle with nothing on you. And I'm recognizing that that's not true. And what I mean by that is that I can hold both to be true. I can have abundance and challenges in my life, and I can respond to both of them. They're all part of this life. And it is not, and this is where now, even as I'm speaking and saying it to you, I can see while I see them connected. Because when good things happen, we have to hold the challenge that comes with it. because you have to hold the duality. Life is not just about day, and it's not just about night. Life is about day and night, dualism, happy and sad, fear and courage, and inviting both of these. And when you expand your capacity for one, you need to expand your capacity for the others. This is this divine law of dualism and being equal. And I can see now, I've always seen it as, oh, it's because I tried too hard. I allowed myself to wish too much. And I'm shifting that. I'm shifting that through love and compassion. And I'm holding it. And I'm like, it's okay. I can hold the challenge that's coming. And I can continuing to hold the abundance of who I want to become. I want to become a woman who has these beautiful places to go for vacations and share them with her loved ones. I want to be this woman who has a business that serves other women and listening to their soul and recognizing that these transitional moments in our lives are opportunities to rethink and to frame what's happening for me, not to me, to allow this expansion to happen in their lives. And I'm even niching down and looking at what this looks like for women going through divorce. Because when I look at my life, it has been relationships, divorce, healing, blending. And through it all, I've navigated this with a higher sense of consciousness by falling down and picking myself up and trusting and hoping and moving forward. And so I can hold that I'm going to, through my Instagram, through my podcast, help women. That is what I want to do, is to serve them and seeing what is possible as they listen to my stories. As you, not they, you listen to my stories. Because that is my hope, is that you can see that I, Michelle Wright, not a diva, not a star, just this wonderful human, has found a way to navigate through and disconnect slowly and continuously in a spiraling upward expansion and exploring, disconnecting from all the shoulds, all the beliefs of scarcity that I have been taught through the different groups that I have been in. And what I mean is that just being a woman in North America, just being a woman in North America of European descent, there are certain beliefs that have been entrained. Being raised Catholic, there are certain beliefs and paradigms that have kept me in a very specific way. I have been an educator and a teacher, so there are certain beliefs and experiences that I have had. And I'm slowly disconnecting from those and recognizing there's so much more. Just so much more. And that's what I'm hoping that I am for you. And that as I speak out loud and I process out loud and I talk out loud about my life and I bring on guests that share their knowledge, their experiences, that you see there are infinite ways that we can expand in this life. There's no one right way. And that each moment offers an opportunity to hold both, to expand and to be challenged. This weekend, we had bought these tickets from Costco for Lake Louise, and if you didn't use them, then they would be done. So my son and I went together, and it was beautiful. And I was so terrified of skiing because we had skied at Christmas and it was freezing, it was cold. And I was just I think just everything that had been happening in April, I was scared to fall. I was scared that I didn't have the ability to ski. I was scared. I was just terrified. And I mean terrified. I had a hard time. I had to breathe, like panic attacks almost coming through. And you know what I'm proud of? I just pushed through. I said I was scared. I allowed myself to be scared. I didn't shame myself and say, you're dumb, you're stupid, Michelle. I just said, yes, I'm scared. And I'm going to do this scared. And each time I went down, I felt better and better. And then I got up on this one blue hill in the backside, Larch, if you've ever been to Lake Louise, the Larch Run. And it's quite a steep decline going down. And I was able to just carve my way all the way down. I didn't need to stop. My legs were strong enough. I was so proud of all the work for the past 8 weeks we had been dedicated to in our weightlifting. I'm like, wow. And I just felt so proud. And I had the gift of being 6 hours in a vehicle with my son. And if you have adult children, you know that we are like ships passing in a night, trying to connect with them and have these conversations. Well, 6 hours in a vehicle allows you to really connect and really listen to their stories and them listen to your stories. And it was beautiful. And it was such a blessing. And we even got burnt. So we put on sunscreen and we even got a little bit burnt. And then in the afternoon, it got so slushy. Never been spring skiing, so I didn't understand when people said it was slushy. So the snow all of a sudden becomes really heavy. And at the end of the day, your legs are a little bit more tired. So it was a little bit harder. And that was okay. We looked at each other and we said, you know what? I think this stickiness and this slushiness is enough for us. And we called it a day and went home in the sunlight and the joy. It was just beautiful. And I was terrified. I want to bring this to you. I was terrified to the point of panic attacks going there. And I had every excuse, beautiful nervous system in my mind not to go. And I chose not to listen. And I was given this beautiful experience. And it reminds me, in this April of chaos, it's each moment that we come up to, each moment that we fear, each moment that brings us anxiety, each moment that overwhelms us, to not hide from that, to not gaslight ourselves and say, oh, well, that's ridiculous. Don't judge yourself. Listen to the emotions, but don't necessarily give in to the emotions. And to persevere and to move forward and to move through. And April is still continuing. We have 20 days left, 10 days left. It's still continuing. And it's okay. I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to continue to give myself grace and compassion like I give other people through this April. And recognize and celebrate that just showing up is amazing. Just giving grace to others is amazing. Just being kind to yourself is amazing. Just being able to thank your nervous system, recognizing how it's trying to keep you safe, because our nervous system is in place to help us from dying. It's here to keep us alive. So it's this idea of a saber-toothed tiger it is there to just rev you up so that you can run away and keep yourself alive. None of the things that I am encountering this April are a saber-toothed tiger. Although one could argue that going down a hill on skis could be a saber-toothed tiger, but I did have the skill set. That's the point, is that my nervous system is there to keep me alive. but I want more than to be alive. I want to be a woman like Madonna going out there and singing with Sabrina Carpenter. I want to be like Cher, standing up, dating. I don't want to date a 20-year-old, but apparently she is. I want to be like Jane Fonda. Recognizing that I have so much to live for in this last third of my life. It is exciting. And I'm here to learn how to follow my soul, to find this evolution that is not when I say predestined, it's not predestined, it's not predetermined, because I get these choices as I move forward. As I follow one breadcrumb to the next breadcrumb, I understand what I am here to do. I understand the opportunities down this pathway, and one is not better than another pathway. My only judgment is when I listen to my heart and I listen to my soul, is it filling me? Am I doing it from fear and anxiety? Or am I doing it because I feel a calling towards something? This is my goal. This is the energy I'm trying to hold in the good things and in the challenging things. And the energy I'm trying to hold is that one is not a sin. One is not that you did something bad for the other. If I have hope and goodness, it does not mean if a bad thing happens that it's because I had hope and goodness in my life. It just means I need to hold both. I need to be able to hold the dualism of living a human life. And in both experiences, you are alive, feeling every depth of emotion, every experience. I just prefer the easy holiday, like I'm sure you do. And I am challenged in my shadow, in the challenging situations, in grief, in loss, in not having control. I'm challenged in those. And yet, as I see that shadow and I love myself fully, in my need to pull away, cocoon, and then come out, as I lack judgment, and what I mean is self-criticism, self-judgment of that isn't good, as I just allow myself to see myself in these challenging situations, I recognize that this is for me, to hold the beautiful fullness of the joy that I want. Means that I have to visit these challenging situations and allow myself to come to its fullness, to release from these anchors. Caroline Meath talks about that. Release these anchors that keep you stuck in first chakra problems, tribe control, tribe boxes, and allow yourself to move up into the heart chakra, into this higher version of yourself where there is complete love of both. Yourself enjoying abundance and yourself enjoying challenges. It is this love of the universe in all of its fullness, and seeing yourself in that and seeing the others around you in that. So for me, this has been my April chaos. It has brought me to my knees, and it has brought me to my highest joy. And I'm learning to love myself through each of those and be present in myself and not disassociate. I am being present, as I hope you are. This weekend, I'm going to be at the Cochrane Wellness Expo. Come join me, doing readings, little mini readings for people. Connect with me on my Instagram. Send me DMs, send me questions. Come for a reading. I am here to serve you as you become your greatest, highest self. And it is my honor and my joy to do so. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.
That wraps up another episode of the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. As you navigate your own life transitions, remember to be gentle with yourself and embrace the journey. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Join me next week for more insights and inspiration. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.